What you want to tell them, Bob?
Well, just about my history, about
What
the
you got
life I've lived, and
what type of life you live, Bob?
well, I mean, I traveled with the fair circus. I've been with I've sold Christmas trees. I lived in the Keys, man. I've done stuff that most people can't even imagine doing because they grow up in a time that they don't know nothing. And the time I grew up in, you had to get out and learn stuff. You couldn't just look it up on the phone.
What type of stuff y'all had to learn without no phone?
Well, for one, you couldn't sit around and just talk on the phone all the time. Mama wouldn't let you sit on the phone, not to mention it was tied to a cord. So you had to get up and go learn something. Mama wouldn't let you sit around the house. You had to go do something. Mama wouldn't let you sit around, or Dad wouldn't. No, you had to get out and fucking learn something. I started working at 11. And nowadays, at 11 years old, people couldn't imagine going to work at 11. But at 11 years old, I got a job on a farm and started working with horses and learned how to do horse things at 11 years old. And nowadays, 11 years old, they better work their ass. And that's just bad for the United States, because when you learn stuff firsthand, you retain it. When you look at it on the phone or you look it up, you don't retain that shit. And that's the whole thing about nowadays. It's just, you got to get out and learn life. Life don't come to you. You got to go get life. And they just don't understand that these days. It really sucks, because most people these days can't tell their ass from a hole. And that's really sad, because you cannot learn something by looking at it and reading it. If you say, like, changing a tire on a car, you can look at a page all day long and say, oh, you take the lug nuts off and you take the tire off and all that. But physically going to do it, when you have to take that information you got in your head that you read and put it to physical work, people can't do that. And that's what's the problem. It's really bad. And I'm really sorry that people didn't understand what was going on at the time back then. Because we didn't know nothing about phones coming. We didn't know nothing about cell phones. We didn't know no computers were coming. We didn't know none of that shit was coming. So we dealt with life as it was. To meet somebody, you went to the club, you went to the skating ring, you went to the ballpark, you went somewhere to meet somebody. You didn't meet somebody at fucking, oh, go to this website and meet this, and then you put in your information in there. No. You had to go out and physically meet people. And it just ain't like that, though.
All right, I forgot the end of the video.